that master is definitely interested in women. Why do you say that? You licked your lips. If he isn't interested in women, then he would not want to have baby himself. This was true, and there is no need for him to cater you. So Jungkook must be interested in women. At noon, document? Oh, I will send it to you. Mr. Bang rushed into study room. Jungkook seems to forget his documents today. You are sitting on the sofa watching some drama. Mr. Bang came down with file. You squeezed your knees and stood up. Mr. Bang, Jungkook asking for documents. I will send it over. You had searched about. It's a type of person who likes men and women both. Netizens also comments about it. Thinking about Jungkook, the cruel lights in your eyes flashed. You have to find out. Yes, your fist raised up as if you are cheering yourself. Madam, you don't have to. Why not? You take the documents from his hands. I know where the company is. Driver will take me there besides. Why are you nervous? This time I'm not going to deliver food. Speaking of food, Mr. Bang immediately became nervous. Oh, okay, madam. You must remember to send it as soon as possible. Sir, meeting will start it in half an hour later. Alright, I got it. You quickly run to your room and wore rocky shorts and cap, then your school backpack. Put documents there, wearing boots, you quickly run down. Such a attire is your style, the high school girl like you. A black expensive car was parked on the roadside and man was inside, making a call. You don't have to care about reporters. I will go there and arrange things. The white car quickly passed on the road. Heeseung was shocked and he stretched his head out to look. Wine. The car just now had its window down and he could vaguely see that the women inside was same like you. Ever since you were out of detention center and left him with a lot of trouble, there was no news about you. Moreover, when Hive Enterprise taken away the piece of land that he had been eyeing, you had called him for short period. But since it was too short, he didn't get that much time to find the caller location, but it was sure that you hadn't left the city yet. Now he finally able to see you. His hands tightened on the steering wheels and smiled dangerously and started engine. With a great speed he tried to catch up the car that he couldn't see it anymore. Where are the documents? Jungkook frowned and make a call to Mr. Bang. Only 10 minutes before meeting started. Madam should have already sent it over. Hadn't she arrived yet? Wine? He frowned. Madam insisted on sending the documents almost half an hour ago. This little girl. He hung up the call just to make other line response, but he didn't have time to beat around bush. Wine, you can play around, but don't delay my meeting. I'm not trying to delay your meeting. Other line shouted on the phone. I'm on the way to company. Heeseung's car chased after us, but luckily we avoided. Jungkook was silent for a moment, then hung up and called someone and asked to keep an eye on the company's gate and picked up you whether anyone is following you. Then he left for meeting. He's sure that he can explain all contents in the meeting without needing documents. Anyway, he is multinational company's president for a reason. Car stopped at the entrance of Hive Enterprise and he quickly rushed in with bag. 2 bodyguards stands there. Miss Fine, you don't have to worry. President John is already gone to the meeting. Miss, you can go and wait for President John in his office. There is 2 journalists of the commercial newspapers. were stopped by receptionists. As a president being busy, he refused to be interviewed. However, it's reporters' work to get information, so they keep trying. The general manager of recent project accepted our interview 2 days ago. Why do he suddenly refuse the appointment now? Please inform manager again. Female reporters request, Miss, please, manager is having meeting right now. There is a change in project and President John is going to re-evaluate the project meeting today, so you can take appointment another time. With disappointed sigh, Changha turned around and she happened to saw a familiar figure entering elevator with two men in formal suits. Wine, but the person didn't hear and elevator door got closed. You entered the CEO office and sat on the sofa, put the documents in his table. Assistant brought you coffee. You got call after sitting down. Chanmi. Wine, just tell me, where are you? She asked directly on the phone. You remembered that you both didn't contact after last time Jungkook's grandfather picked you up to meet. You looked at the luxurious office. I'm outside. Did you go to the Hive Enterprise just now? You widen your eyes. How do you know that? I'm with my colleague from newspaper preparing to interview a joint section of Hive, but I was stopped outside. I just saw you going. You're ashamed. Was it bad time to go out today? First, you almost catch by Heeseung and now Changha. Wine, tell me who was the one that came to pick you up to tea house that day? She's not stupid. They only asked you to go in, and it's clear for anyone that those people are looking for you, not her. Those people, That side's tea house is not for ordinary people. Many rich families, old masters, or madams often go there. Are those people related to the man you married? She guessed you are a little uncomfortable. Well, what can I say? You didn't know how to explain it to her. Even you don't want to hide your marriage to her, but the agreement between you and Jungkook will be broke. Chanmei, I'm sorry. I had an agreement with him. I can't reveal his identity. She smiled sinisterly. Even you don't say, I will find out one day. What? Will the agreement between you and Jungkook will expose? Your mind went blank. Chungha looked at the surroundings. That man must be working in the Hive Enterprise, right? Is he a high level or elite members of this company? You blinked your almond-shaped eyes and thoughts. Huh? Work? Yeah, that's right. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone about you. She sincerely said, but you have to do me a favor. You noted I want to interview general manager, but at the last time he cancelled. Help me persuade him to take interview to our newspaper. You looked at the Jungkook's spacious office. Alright, I will give it a try. After call hung up, you sighed cause you don't know anyone here. You just come here to check if there is any men or women surrounding Jungkook in company. But since Chungha is here, you decided to help her. You stood up and walked out of assistant's cabin. Hello, may I ask who is the general manager of the Hive Enterprise? Assistant seems to know that boss likes this little girl. She was respectful towards you, Miss. General manager of the project. His surname is Park. He's now in the meeting room. He was also in a meeting. You nodded. Thank you. You withdrew from there and walked around the corridor. Meeting was finished and elites and shareholders walked out of the conference room, one after another, with documents in their hands with their secretary. You waited patiently and made a phone call. Chanmi, Assistant said that manager is in the meeting. I'm waiting outside the conference room. What does that person look like? He looks like. Chungha thought for a moment. He's handsome young man, have cute face but sharp eyes. How can you gonna find people with this description? You saw familiar figure walking out. It's Jimin. He smiled, Miss Wine, waiting for President John. You nodded. Okay, let me check. You waved your hand. As soon as you turned around, your eyes widened. Familiar figure standing at the conference room talking to a woman. That woman is side profile smiling to the man. That woman wore tight pencil skirt that was cut behind, suit and high heels, looking professional, but she twirled her hair with her long slender finger time to time, showing off her coquettish mannerism. She took out a square red object and handed it to Jungkook. That woman almost rubbed her hand on his arm, who smiled and took it over. Her eyes suddenly widened. The two men and women walked side by side. It's my honor to be invited by Miss Dial. Her eyes became small as you narrowed. What was she inviting him for? Making an appointment? You stared at them darkly. President John is such a gentleman. The women smiled charmingly and almost held his hand while walking and acted as if nothing had happened. Thank you for accepting for lunch. I'm very happy. This should be my honor. Wine. Chungha's voice came from other line. You gritted your teeth looking at the two people's back. That just passed from there. You hired yourself and saw them walking towards the elevator. I saw, and you hold back your tears. Chungha was silent for a moment, but she got distracted by a man who came down. The manager has come out. I will call you later. She hung up and you immediately followed Jungkook and women. Minho was waiting in the car. Jungkook led the way for Thyul. Miss Thyul, please get in the car. My secretary will take you there. That woman was shocked and turned to hold his arm. Oh, President John, you just agreed to accompany me for lunch. Jungkook pulled his arm away in a gentle, manly way. Miss Thyel, I'm sorry, I have something to do in the office, so you should go first. Minho sent Miss Thyel over. Minho knew that this is one of businessman's daughter. That's why she have opportunity to get close to Jungkook with the excuse of coming to the meeting. There are many of them and Minho is not surprised at all. Miss Thyel, please get in the car. Minho opened the door for her with a sort of reluctance. She bit her lower lips and stood there. Seeing that, Jungkook turned around to make call. Is Vine in the office? If his wife is here, then he would not accompany other women now. But his assistant said that you were not there and might went home. Thyel was unwilling to give up. When she saw his expression, she immediately grabbed the chance. President John, are you free now? Yeah, I guess. They went into the car. You sat in the car, looking at them from little far. People always said that he have no scandal with women outside. It turned out that he's just hiding it. Your eyes were as evil as a grievance and asked the driver to follow them. At Fun Park, you couldn't believe it, Jungkook would bring this woman here. Because it was the place he had asked you to marry him. You slammed the car door and walked towards the gate, but security stopped you. Get out of the way. Excuse me, miss. Are you the member of this place? Please show your card. They looked at your angry face. No. Sorry, miss. They looked at the girl that wore a cute outfit. This place is not for ordinary people. Most of the guests who enter here have a year-long membership card. Someone clapped and women's laughter came. Women walked out swaying her body charmingly. Yes, the annual card to come in here cost more than 1 million, and the people here are all rich and foreigner. You gritted your teeth. This is the woman who was with Jungkook. Securities bows their head. Miss Thyle, it was obvious that she was a woman of status. That woman looked at you and walked towards you with a figure like a princess, walking around you with her arms crossed. I wonder why you think that it's a place for someone like you who were kicked out of Kim family can come. Women were different from men. Women were born to gossip. Naturally, he recognized you. Who are you? You watch the women that you're not familiar with. Watch your mouth, you're not the person I'm looking for. Although this woman wore a elegant dress and was came out of meeting room of hype and reprise, it's obvious that you wanted to get close to Jungkook. You were not interested to wait time on her. She tilted her head. Oh, are you looking for President June? Is that right, Miss Kim? It's none of your business. You coldly said, I saw you were following us, didn't you? She looked at you like the way she would look at to beggar. I hear that you went to the Hive Enterprise a few days ago. President John must saw you, didn't he? It's incredible that Jungkook would be interested in a loose woman who was thrown by Lee Heeseung. You gritted your teeth. I know Jungkook is not gay as rumors said. It's just he has too much pride, so he doesn't even care about pursuing any women. She narrowed her eyes. Even so, it's not your turn to chase after men who have high status. You smiled. Miss Thyle is so beautiful, but I know some of Jungkook's secrets and the kind of women he likes. Come over, let me tell you. You walked to the side behind women, squinted her eyes and snorted as she followed you. Let's see what tricks you can play. You stopped. Why? You shouldn't think too much. You don't deserve Heeseung and Jungkook is not someone you will just daydream about. Women screamed and her body was in a distorted state as she fell down on the ground. You kissed your fist and sneered. Miss Thyle, you were quite good at talking, were not you? Go on, I promise I won't harm your pretty face. You, how dare you beat me? Her eyes was wide open and she held her cheek that was in great pain by your punch. You dare to curse on me. You kicked her body and she screamed. Securities came running to help her. I was the one who dumped Lee Heeseung. How dare a girl like you was up with Jungkook? You beat her with fire in your eyes. She wanted to get close to your husband. What are you doing? Stop, stop. Securities pulled you from her, holding your arms. Surrounding people also looked over in puzzled. Famous lady was beaten up. Inside at the table, Jungkook was thinking how he had seen your car earlier. Suddenly, Minho came with news. President June, bad news. Madam is hitting someone outside. Jungkook frowned and immediately stood up to leave. You were taken away from Thyle. She was in an embarrassed moment. Her hair is messy and face is swollen from beating. When Jungkook came out, she ran to him and pointed at you. President John, this woman dared to hit me. I will call the police and let her arrest for a long time. Jungkook narrowed his eyes. Thyle hooked her hands around his arm. You glared at Jungkook with your red eyes. She started it. She called me loose woman. Jungkook frowned. Minho, bring wine in. Miss Thyle, let's cancel the cooperation. Minho immediately asked you to go with him. You have a murderous glare at this coquettish woman before you left. People there are all surprised because Jungkook helped the woman who beat famous businessman's daughter and cancelled the corporation. Thyle's eyes widened in disbelief and angrily pointed at you, shouting, Jungkook, didn't you hear me? She beat me. I heard it very clearly. He turned his back and you said that she is loose women. What? Miss Thyle want to say that my woman is loose women? Thyle's face instantly changed the color. She was kicked out of this famous place and even cancelled the business corporation. She tightened her hands and the face darkened. How could Jungkook embarrass her in front of many people? The status she have collapsed in a second. Minho brought you into luxurious room. You sat on the sofa. It didn't look like a room for negotiation. Last time when you came to this place, there was swimming pool, so you didn't know that this place have many other things. Jungkook walked in, accompanied by Jimin. Did you follow me from the company? Your face turned sideways. Who said that I followed you here? Does your family own this place? Jungkook smiled and sat in front of you. You can say that. What? Your face turned to him. No way, Jimin smiled. Madam, this is also under Hive Enterprise. Usually, we came here to relax ourselves after a busy day to have lunch. You didn't know that how many land Jungkook have. Including this biggest one park, it's also under my name. He warned you in a gentle tone. Otherwise, why do you think that it's easy for you to follow me up? You are dumbfounded. He is really biggest merchant in the city. He had a strong background. His companies have entertainment circle, technology and advanced science. Whereas benefits there would be his name. He was the multinational company's president. You looked at your husband and snorted. Mr. John really has a big business. Jungkook crossed his legs. If you were to call me husband, half of the property might be yours. You coughed twice. I have something to ask to you. I have seen with my own eyes that Mr. John is romantic outside, having an affair with a woman, and he came to this place. Excuse me, have you cheated on me? Wine, what are you talking about? He looked at you. Don't worry, I just want to confirm some facts. You said gloomily. Even if you have a girlfriend outside, I won't care because we are free after marriage. It turns out that the prenuptial agreement works in order to facilitate him to flirt with other women outside. You secretly had a fire all over your body. Jungkook's face slightly darkened. Watch your mouth, isn't it? You couldn't control him, you know, so you will not be polite. To my surprise, that President June don't have scandal with women outside. It turns out that he's only hiding and having close relationship with women in private and also tangled with men. It's really amazing that you have been able to maintain that image outside all the time. Minho and Jimin listened conversation between and consciously avoided and excused themselves to go out. Jungkook poured spirits and smiled looking at you. If that's the case, what do you plan to do? So what? I'm not going to do anything. You said sorely. I just wonder how many lovers you have outside. Don't worry, you have mistaken. Mistake? You wanted to show your finger. If Thyle is my lover and you beat my lover outside, will I still take side of you? You gritted your teeth. But I saw it. She gave you a something special at the conference store and you take it. He smiled. So you were at company that time. Even though he was discovered by you, he still unhurried. How dare you, Jungkook, a playboy? Are you referring to this? Jungkook take out square-shaped thing and show it holding between his fingers. You were stunned and your face turned red. I misjudged you. You were so shameless to take this out in public. Why can't I? This is a normal supplies for men and women, isn't it? This brand is most popular one. You didn't expect him to openly say this. You were so ashamed and annoyed. You gritted your teeth. I don't want to talk about this anymore. But we're only one here. Why can't we talk about this topic? He asked if he is deliberately teasing you. You're even more uncomfortable. What's more, that thing was thrown in front of you. And this isn't your jaw dropped. Seeing your expression, he stood up. I will accept from women. What kind of person do you think I am, Kim Wyan? Your eyes widened. Isn't that so? You immediately pick up to take a look. Take a good look yourself. You are speechless. This is our latest cream sample of the Kang brand. It's cosmetic brand and we had a cooperation between, but I don't have intention of making cosmetic. You quickly check the packet and there is indeed sign of newly branched. You tore a small mouth and squeeze out some fragrant cream and smell. You put packet on the table and head lowered down, feeling nervous but unwilling to give up. Is that so? But even so, you still acted intimately, didn't you? There were many women who wanted to approach me, not just her. Moreover, we came here for a meal, not for something else. His tone was calm. You almost lost your balance. Marrying with older guy feel like this? Well, you began to retreat. Sorry, it seems that I misunderstood. I won't bother you anymore. I'm going back. Jungkook looked at his young wife, looking like a high school girl. He stretched out his hand and wrapped around your waist. You have followed us all the way. You want to leave just like that?